What is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media and welcome to our brand new Top 5 series. This will be a weekly series where we'll be listing my top 5 favorites or least favorites based on the topic that we are talking about. Of course today we're going to be talking about my top 5 favorite ghost type Pokemon. Now please note, this list is completely subjective based on my own personal opinions and thoughts, and a lot of those are based off of things like design, typing, backstory, stats, etc. The list goes on and on. Now most people will not have the same list as me, and really you shouldn't, because that's part of the beauty of the whole process. We all have different opinions. I encourage everybody to share your own personal list down in the comment section below so we can all compare and discuss together. So kicking off the list, we have Frostlast, the Snowland Pokemon. Kind of a weird classification to be honest, but Frostlast's design is pretty amazing, and so is that typing of Ice Ghost. Frostlast, in fact, is the only Pokemon with that typing in the whole game. Its high speed stat and access to Taunt and Spikes makes Frostlast a solid lead for offensive teams when we're talking competitively. But one thing I found really interesting about Frostlast is the fact that it somehow weighs 58 pounds. Seems like kind of a lot for a ghost, especially compared to a Pokemon like Ghastly that weighs less than 1 pound. It's even stated in a few places that its body is completely hollow. Maybe the ice weighs it down? We'll never know, I guess. But look at that Pokedex entry. Its breath clocks in at negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 32 degrees below freezing, which is crazy. And that's enough, for sure, to freeze it in place at number 5 on my list. And number 4 is a channel veteran, Spectra the Mismagius. Those of you that have been subscribed to the channel for a while have probably seen her on full display in Wi-Fi matches and on battle spots. We've used her all over the place. Mismagius has an improved design over what is already a really cool looking Pokemon in Misdreavus. Leave it to Game Freak to make an awesome Pokemon out of what is essentially just a creepy possessed hat. A 9.7 pound creepy possessed hat. And let's not forget that Pokedex entry that says it appears where you'd least expect it because, you know, she's a ghost and she's kind of spooky like that. Mismagius is also no slouch on the battlefield, as Nasty Plot combined with good speed allows it to dish out some powerful hits, while Taunt and Will-O-Wisp give her some utility uses. Plus there's that Levitate ability that keeps her spookiness safe from ground moves, in addition to her ghost typing that already grants her those lovely immunities to fighting and normal. Marking the number 3 spot, we have the Elder Tree Pokemon Revenant. Typing of Ghost Grass was brand new when it was introduced in Gen 6, and the design is fantastic. But Revenant's shiny color palette is just on another level. Could just be my bias towards almost anything including the color red, but Revenant is easily one of my favorite shiny Pokemon of all time. Its harvest ability is great to allow it to reuse berries like Lum or Citrus to help it stick around longer in battle, and it works quite well alongside some other useful moves that it gets like Leech Seed, Will-O-Wisp, and Phantom Force. Of course, one thing that does strike me a bit strange about Revenant though is that height listing of 4 foot 11 inches, which would be shorter than my grandmother. That's a pretty small tree. At number 2, we have Chandelure. In addition to an awesome typing in Ghost and Fire and a great design, Shandy has a fairly dark backstory. Its Pokedex entries almost all talk about spirits that have been consumed in Chandelure's flames and somehow they become lost forever, which is just so perfectly creepy that I just love it. Plus, Chandelure's base special attack stat of 145 is the highest base special attack stat of all non-legendary and non-mega evolved fire-type Pokemon. That's just craziness. The Flash Fire ability also gives it some great opportunities to switch in when we're talking competitively, and it gives it an extra immunity to work with as well, also going along with that fighting and normal immunity that comes with the ghost typing. With so many things going for it, I was this close to putting Shandy at number 1 on this list. This close. And finally, my number 1 favorite ghost type Pokemon is Doblade. This is one of the many cases where I actually like an unevolved Pokemon more than its evolution. Aegislash is cool and all, but Doblade's double sword design is just enough to put it to the top of my list. Steel Ghost also is a fantastic typing that's exclusive to the Honedge line, and Doblade comes with a great selection of moves like Swords Dance, Sacred Sword, and Shadow Sneak among others, and is paired with decent enough stats to make it a solid competitive tank. Just slap an Eviolite on it and it will absorb stupid amounts of physical damage. But let's go back to that typing again real quick. Doblade's Steel Ghost typing gives it 9 resistances and 3 immunities, making it tied with Magnemite's evolutionary line as the most resistant Pokemon ever in history. Ever. From a design aspect, once again, that red coloring in its shiny version is just too cool for me to ignore. So for all those reasons, Doblade is my #1 ghost. And that'll do it for our list. An honorable mention before we wrap things up, Shedinja just missed the cut. It has a pretty cool design and typing in Bug Ghost, and a unique capture scenario where it just is basically a byproduct of Nincada evolving into Ninjask, but it has a base stat total of 236. That's 236 as a fully evolved Pokemon. As a reference, that's less than Pidgey, Togepi, Rattata, Ladybug, and dangerously close to Magikarp. Magikarp! Of course, its HP stat of 1, even at level 100, helps bring down that total, but still. Alright, well that will do it for this week's Top 5. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. In the meantime, make sure you put your top 5 ghost Pokemon in the comment section below and hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Also, feel free to comment what top 5 you'd like to see next week, or you can hit me up on Twitter if you want to talk about Pokemon or life. But anyway, that'll be it for this time, and I will see you for the next episode. But until then, game on.